welcome to the Matchday -1 press conference of England with coach Gareth Southgate and Harry Kane. Simultaneous translation is provided in German, English and Dutch. To ask your question, please raise your hand, state your name and your media house, and let us know to whom the question is directed to. Can I have a show of hands, please? Let's start up front here. Thank you.
Hi, it's Kaveh Solokol from Sky Sports. Gareth, your players have been speaking in glowing terms about you this week. Do you sense that they want to win tomorrow, not just for their country, but also for you?
I mean, look, I'm very fortunate to have a fabulous group of players, and I think we work as a team. We always have. Whenever we're talking about the games, how we've done, it's always reviewed in terms of what we could do better as a coaching team, as well as what the players might do better. We have very open dialogue about that. And the special thing about this group of players has been that the way that the 26 have really bonded over the last few weeks, you know, a lot of new players in, a lot of players with no tournament experience, half the squad. And the contributions coming into the game have been so important. You know, we've managed to get 21 of the players on the pitch, and none of those have been, you know, a dead rubber or 10 minutes that weren't important. And I think that has made people even more connected and has helped the experience of all of the squad.
Hi, Harry. Hi, Gareth. Good luck tomorrow. Henry Winter from World Soccer. Harry, just with the change in formation that we saw the other day, and with Phil and Jude sort of slightly more central, does that keep you higher up the pitch? Does it change your game in any way? Thank you.
Not specifically. I think there's times where, you know, just the rhythm of the game, maybe, you know, Jude or Phil might end up being in the middle. I might drift out to maybe the left 10, or there's different examples where, of course, as the striker, you want to try and give as much space as possible to your midfielders, to the number 10s, and but then there's times, you know, where you want to drag defenders out into spaces they might not want to come either. So, like I've said with, you know, my game always, I try and see how the game evolves, what the team needs from me, and I try and exploit those situations. But yeah, there'll be times tomorrow, of course, where I'll need to be more of a focal point and be in the box more and make sharper movements in the box. And there'll be times where I'll drop deep and try and make it uncomfortable for the defenders coming into maybe areas they don't want to be in.
Hi, Gareth. It's me, Bailey from TRT Sports. Since the beginning of the tournament, in the last 5 matches you preferred to start with Trippier in left back, not with Luke Shaw, whose original position is left back. What were the reasons that you started with Trippier, and is there a possibility in that match to start with Luke Shaw against Holland?
Yeah, Luke has been injured for 4 months, so it wasn't a possibility for him to play until the last match. He made a good contribution to the game. So that's the decision we have to make, whether he's ready to start, whether that's the best way to use him. But yeah, we're very happy to have him back. He obviously gives us balance, different balance with the team. But also Kieran has done a fantastic job. He's played in so many important nights for us. You know, we've had a lot of big nights over the last 7 or 8 years, and he's been so important in those occasions, but also around the squad, how he is with the rest of the players and the staff. So we're very fortunate to have players like him in our squad.
Hi, Noah Vala, Dutch television. Question to Harry. As a striker yourself, how do you look at the Dutch strikers, Memphis and Wout Weghorst as well?
Yeah, obviously they're two totally different strikers. Obviously, whoever plays, or if they both play tomorrow, they both bring something different to the Dutch team. So yeah, from our point of view, we'll always analyse, the other team and where they can hurt us and where we need to be careful. And they're two really good strikers. They're playing at a high level, and of course, being in the semi-final of European Championships means they're doing something well. So we hopefully will keep them quiet tomorrow, but it'll be a difficult task for sure. But yeah, we're focused on what we can do to hurt them as well, and that's what we've been preparing for.
Nathaniel Ziegler, Sport 1 Israel. Ari, after Slovakia, Jude talked about the big pressure from the crowd and from the media. How do you deal with it? And if the players speak about it in the dressing room, about the big pressure?
No, I don't think we really speak about it in the dressing room. I think, definitely the ones who have had more experience in tournaments know what it's like to play for England in major tournaments. And of course, as we've been doing better and getting better in the tournaments, the expectation gets higher, and that's been no different. So I think people will use it in different ways. Some will use it as motivation to up their game and up their level. Some will just block it out and focus on what they need to do. So everyone's different in that sense. From a team point of view, we know what we're trying to achieve. We set out from the start what we've been trying to achieve, and we're close to doing that. We have a really important game tomorrow night, a really tough game which we need to be ready for, and we've prepared for that. So from our point of view, nothing changes.
Hi, it's a question for Gareth. Gareth, it's Mike Keegan from the Daily Mail. Just wondered if you were aware of the well-publicised background of the referee for the game tomorrow night and the issues with Jude a couple of years ago, whether that caused you any concerns and whether it was anything that you've spoken to Jude about ahead of the game?
No. I think everybody knows how I deal with referees, with complete respect for every referee. I know the two guys at UEFA, Roberto and Bjorn, who've been running the referees programme, and I think they appreciate the respect we've shown as a team to officials over 8 years. I think there's a right way to conduct yourself towards officials. I think that's very important for the image of the game. So, no, I'm not concerned about who the referee is. He will be at a very high standard because that's the way that UEFA make those decisions and the way they monitor the games that are played during the tournament. So, for me, it's not even a consideration.
Hello, Harry. Dani Quintana for Diario La Squadra from Spain. What do you think about one team like Spain and young players like Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams for a possible final?
Yeah, obviously Spain have had a fantastic tournament. They look like their players are playing with a lot of freedom, and a lot of young players who are just going out there and enjoying the occasion and getting on the ball. But Spain have been a top team for many years now, so it's no surprise that they're in a semi-final. They've obviously got a tough game tonight, which I'm sure will be a good one to watch. But fantastic players. As we're in the final four of this European Championship now. Every team is going to have a really good squad. Spain are no different to France, us, or Holland when we play tomorrow.
Hi, it's Mareike Zek for German Radio. I would like to know both your opinions on the debate about having extra time or not. Like, should we get rid of it the next tournaments?
Yeah, that's not really for me to.
You have to run around. I don't.
I know. Yeah. No, look, it's a good question. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Of course, there's been some great moments in extra time where teams find a goal, just like Spain did in the last minute, and there's times where you can see both teams are really tired, and they're probably both waiting for penalties and then taking their opportunity from that point of view. So I don't mind it. I don't mind extra time. It always feels amazing when you come through it, and whether that's the end of extra time or penalties, you really give everything that you've got in those moments. So there's something special about coming through those moments and building that togetherness from that. But ultimately, it's not in my hands. So I'm sure whoever makes those decisions will make the right one.
Question from the very back.
Hi Gareth, Carl Matchett from The Independents. You spoke after the Switzerland game about several players being very much exhausted, and Harry was basically out on his feet when he came off, and Jude before penalties as well. You only made one sub against Slovakia before the 84th minute and none against Switzerland before the 78th. So just wondering if that is either a concern for you or part of your plan for those both games and going forward as well. Obviously, you didn't make the 6th extra time sub either.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are different reasons for making changes. We were happy with the way the team were playing in a couple of those games. There was a game we made a substitution at half-time, so we don't have a preconditioned way of operating. You're always looking at the physical freshness of the team, the balance of the team, how the team are performing individually, whether changes are actually going to improve what we're doing or not. So they're the assessments that you're always making. Clearly now, it's a strange thing in the biggest games, you get less time to prepare, less time to recover. So you would assume the biggest matches you have the best preparation, but we haven't really been able to get on the training pitch. You're just walking through things or covering things in meetings. So there is a different physical aspect now. But all of the players are going into this game in good condition, recovered well. Over the next 24 hours, we keep assessing people, and the game will take us in a certain direction tomorrow that will make those decisions for us.
Hello, this is Eric from NRK Norway. Question to Gareth. Marcelo Bielsa said that football is becoming less attractive and that players who deserve to be watched will be less because football will benefit the business. What is your opinion on that?
It's difficult for me to say because I don't know the context to his comments. So, yeah, I don't know what he was asked and why he made the observations that he did.
Well, a question.
Hi, Gareth. Joe Rawson, Sky News. Could be a rare occasion where the Dutch fans outnumber England fans in the stadium tomorrow. What have you done to prepare for what's promising to be such an intense atmosphere?
I think our players are used to it. One of the great things about this tournament has been the atmosphere in the stadium, the fact that so many supporters of every team it's been a different sort of feeling for our players compared to definitely the last two World Cups, and of course the last Euros was affected by restricted attendances. So it's definitely added a different feel to the games, a different intensity to the games. But our fans, whether there are more or less, will make themselves heard, I'm sure, and it will be a brilliant, colourful occasion because, my memories of playing against Holland with the orange in the stadium are really vivid. So, in the end, the players want to play in those sorts of occasions. These are the matches we want to be involved in. It's why we're involved in football, and particularly international football. You live for the tournaments. That's where we step up, and we're looking forward to that occasion.
Hi, both. James Ollie from ESPN. Good luck tomorrow. Gareth, you mentioned earlier that the squad you felt was bonded in recent weeks. Do you feel now they're in the right mindset to peak at the end of this tournament, and how do you help them do that?
Yeah, there's been a definite shift. I was really interested. As a coach, sometimes you take a step back and you observe, and one of the strengths of us over the last 7-8 years has been less fear, less inhibition. But I think at the beginning of the tournament, the expectation weighed quite heavily, and of course the external noise was louder than it's ever been. So I felt we couldn't quite get ourselves in the right place, and in the end what was impressive was that the players ground it out. They ground results out and found ways to win. I felt that shifted once we'd got into the knockout stage, and definitely in the quarter-final I thought you saw a better version of us with the ball, freer. I'm not sure any of the messaging changed, but I just felt the group changed, and You're now into that moment in the tournament where it's what's possible, what's achievable, rather than what might go wrong, and that's different for a player, for an athlete. So, yeah, this is now the chance to make history, which we've enjoyed doing that. Chance to get to the first final, not held in England. First time England will have ever done that. So we're trying to break new ground. That's difficult and it's complicated, but the players have responded brilliantly, and the resilience that's been built. You know, you can bond. We've been very fortunate. We've had Ed Sheeran in to sing, and it was great. The players had a couple of beers before the last game. You can bond in that way, but when you're having to head the ball out your box in the 92nd minute and you're having to find a goal in the 96th minute, there's nothing stronger than that for building the spirit of a team.
Hi Gareth, Dan Kilpatrick, Evening Standard. I just wondered what kind of game you're expecting tomorrow. Do you expect it to be more open, or are you expecting the Dutch to sit in and kind of make it difficult for you like the other teams have done?
Well, that wouldn't be normal for the way Dutch teams play, and it's not what we've seen from them. Equally, you know, Ronald's an experienced coach. He could approach the game in a very different way to the games that they've played already. So we're prepared for anything. I think it will be an exciting game. You've got a lot of very good players on the pitch, a lot of good forward players, both teams. So we've got to be another step from what we showed in the last game. It's another step up in terms of the quality of some of the opponents, and we have to be ready for that.
Mr. Southgate, Pascal from Dutch television. Maybe you heard already the story about the Dutch team is a little bit delayed, a little bit of more delay, because they travel by train. It's not possible, and they have to take a plane. Do you think it has some influence on their preparation, and what would your reaction be if it's happened to you?
No, we would be calm, control what we can affect. We don't play until 9 o'clock tomorrow, so there's plenty of time. I'm sure they'll still get dinner when they arrive. So, I don't see that having any impact on the game, really.
Thank you.
Hi, Mitch Phillips from Reuters. Question for Harry. Could you, Harry, talk about the difference in mentality for you and some of the players around you from 2018, when that was like a first semi-final, and now you're looking at a third, this is becoming a kind of routine, if you like. Is it a different mindset for you, the way you're going into this game now?
Well, I think you just use the past experiences to help you. You know, we've got a lot of players who have, experienced big games on an international level and also big games at a club level. So you try and use all that experience over, the course of your career to prepare you in the best way possible and to control the nerves and control the excitement. Tomorrow night will be no different. You know, we, like I touched on earlier, we had a goal and we had a target of where we want to be and what we think is achievable. And step by step, we've been getting closer to that target. And we prepared tomorrow like we prepare any other game. And I just think, during the game, you lean on experiences, you lean on the leaders in the team who have been there and done that to help maybe some of the players who haven't. But ultimately, it's about going out there and taking the opportunity with both hands. We've put ourselves in a great spot, and we've got a big game tomorrow to reach back-to-back finals in the European Championships. It'll be an amazing achievement, and we have that opportunity to go and do that.
We'll take 3 last questions. Thank you.
Harry, it's Oliver Kay from The Athletic. When the manager's talking about the noise that there was at the start of the tournament in the group stage especially, and the pressure, expectation, did you as players, and as captain in particular, did you do anything different? Did you have meetings and grab them all together, especially the younger players, and spell out any different message to help them through it?
No, there wasn't no meetings. I think, as one of the leaders, as the captain in the team, you're always talking to your players, you're always talking to, especially the newer players, they're always asking you questions about experiences, etc. And I think we do a pretty good job of preparing all the players, before the tournament of, what tournament football is like, because of course you have to go out there on the pitch and perform well and do that side of it. But tournament football, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a long time away of each other, a lot of preparation, a lot of time in the hotel. There's a lot of media attention, so it's about dealing with all that. And I think over the years, since Gareth's been here and since I've been captain, we've handled that really well, and this tournament has been no different. Like the expectation has maybe been a little bit different from the start, and maybe the noise has been a bit louder, but I think we've all handled that really well. And like I said, some players will use it as motivation, some players will block it out, and ultimately it's just down to what we want to achieve. And we have a really close togetherness, not just players but staff as well, and we've all been in the same direction for a while now, and that's all we're thinking about.
In the back.
Hi, Eric Peters from Germany. Question to both of you. You're trying to learn a bit of German. How is it going? Do you already know the German word for European champion?
I don't.
No, strangely, it wasn't one I looked for either. So I know how to turn right at the underground station, but that's about it, I'm afraid. So,
thank you. Last question over here, please. Thanks.
Hi, Harry, Marcel van der Kraan, Dutch Telegraph. What kind of battles have you had over the years with Virgil van Dijk? Can you describe them a bit? What sort of duels you had? And are you actually happy to play him tomorrow, or would you rather have had Matthijs de Ligt, who you have known a little bit more now?
Yeah, no, of course, Mata has been a teammate of mine now for the last year. Fantastic player, fantastic guy. Obviously, I'm not sure if he's going to start tomorrow or not, but if he does, we've had a lot of battles in training, so I'm sure tomorrow will be no different. And in terms of Virgil, we've had some really good battles over the year, from when he was at Southampton, at Liverpool. A lot of tough games, a lot of big games, and sometimes he's won that battle, sometimes I've won that battle. So tomorrow night will be a tough game. Whoever plays will be tough opponents, and I'll always prepare in the same way of trying to make their life as uncomfortable as possible. But I'm sure he'll try and do the same to me. So I enjoy playing against the best players in the world. That's what you play football for. That's why you want to play these games, and I'm looking forward to that challenge tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.